what's up? I am Michelle B, and probably like a week ago now I posted this image to Instagram asking you guys to ask me questions, and in this video I am going to be answering those questions. So the first question is from VA.91. What did you study? PS, I'm so grateful that I found your YouTube channel. Thank you so much. I actually didn't really formally study. There's been like a lot of like informal teaching myself how to do a lot of things, but no real formal like university. Kelly and Co asked, I'd love to know what a favorite piece of life advice you've gotten lately is. Now Kelly and Co, I'm just gonna like quickly plug her. She has a YouTube channel and I follow her on Instagram as well. I watch like all of her Instagram stories, and every single time I watch one, I'm like, I am so motivated right now. I don't know if it's really life advice, but I went to a learning conference recently and they talked a lot about how learning itself isn't about the wedding, it's about the marriage. Because not a learning event and then you're good, you know things and you're right to go. Learning is a long journey. So, I mean, not really life advice, but it's something that's been on my mind lately. Kekvilla999 asks, what is a thing that you don't like in your personality or your appearance? Probably a thing that I don't like in my personality is that I'm like an overthinker. I'm a natural worrier. I can get anxious about things that is really not necessary for me to get anxious about. And in my appearance, like, I don't know, I'm not really that fussed. I have sticky outy ears, which I inherited from my beautiful father, but like, I don't know if you guys have noticed before. Literally, look at them closely. They stick out. But I'm kind of okay with that. Like, I mean, I don't love them. When I was younger, I was really insecure about them and I was like, I need to get ear pinning back surgery. They're gonna be noticeable for the rest of my life. Like, that'll be the first thing everyone notices about me. But now I'm just like, like I wear my hair up every day and I don't really think about it. When it comes to dealing with my insecurities, it's a lot of like self-talk. And I mean, it's a lifelong journey, accepting yourself as you are, I feel. There's a lot out there about like, you know, love yourself, think that you're like the best thing in the world, but I think accepting yourself is the first step, and just accepting that you're a flawed human being. Khaleesi asks, how do you feel about your channel growing so much and connecting with so many people that all feel and see life like you? Honestly, it's freaking mental. I think it's so amazing that we can get all these people that are like-minded into the one place though. Like, I just think it's so cool. I wish that it could be like an in real life thing, but for now, online is good. And also, did you ever get discouraged on the way with your YouTube career? Yes, like 1,000 times. I can actually remember one specific event where I had like just filmed a video and I was sitting on my bed after filming the video and I was like, I don't even think that I can keep on doing this. Like, I just sat there and I was like, I'm not for YouTube, like I'm not energetic enough. You see a lot of YouTubers and there's like so much energy and enthusiasm in their videos, and I was like, I can't put that much enthusiasm into my videos. I sound so neutral and boring, and I was like ready to give up, but I'm so glad that I persevered, because thinking back to that moment, I'm like, oh, this is the turning point. Mackenzie H asked, would you ever do YouTube as a full-time job? I would do YouTube as a full-time job, but I also like to like run something else on the side. I don't think just making videos would really be fulfilling enough. Something I've got to think about. Nazi Kristen asked, how old are you? I am 23 years old. Vivian in Tallinn again asked, what is your favorite trait of yours? I think one of my favorite traits of mine is probably just that I am a doer. Like, generally when I say that I'm going to do something, I follow through with it. It's not necessarily that I do things well, but just taking that first step of doing things can be the thing that makes a difference. Iris Lazary asked, how do you balance your work and personal life? Does your family watch your videos? If yes, are they supportive? Balancing work and my personal life is probably like one of the hardest things ever, but I mean, I do my best to maintain it by setting myself with schedules, and then making sure that I do get like rest time and time with my friends as well. Like, it's just a juggle. I don't feel like there's any time that you're ever gonna get a full good balance, especially when you have a full-time job and you're doing YouTube on the side. It makes it really difficult, but I mean, it's worth it in the long run. Now, I'm pretty sure that my mom watches my videos, but that's about it. Amy, my sister, probably watches my videos from time to time, like the videos that she's like, yeah, I kind of want to see that. And my family are like crazy supportive. Like, my dad in particular has been really supportive throughout my whole YouTube journey. Cassie Camilleri asked, any tips for someone who's thinking of starting a YouTube channel? So, I mean, I'm gonna throw it out there. I feel like this comes up a lot, but I have a second channel that you may not know about called Channel Notes. I'll link it in the description down below. I make videos all about doing YouTube on that channel and I get such good feedback from the videos. So I feel like it's a genuinely helpful channel if you're someone who's looking to start YouTube or maybe has just started and wants to do better at YouTube. B is for Brittany. This is another like badass YouTube babe. I will link her in the description as well. She asked, what was the process of writing your ebook? So proud of you. Thank you so much. finished. The process for writing my ebook was hectic. So I started out and I was just like, this is just gonna be a simple, very small project and I'll just give it away. It'll be like really rudimentary, and I just like wrote it up really quickly. Like it was just the absolute basic bare bones with just like check boxes and no real information or words, you know what I mean? And then once I finished it, I was like, no, I can't do this. Like I'm just not a person that can put out something that's like so simple and not necessarily super helpful. So then I completely transformed it again. Then I got to the end of that, still didn't love what I had produced, didn't love the design of it. I didn't think that there was enough information and enough like helpfulness in the ebook. So then I went and actually did it up again in another program. And then I added all of the like really detailed and like helpful stuff, like the little mini guides, everything like that. So it was a really long process that I thought would be over in just a few months, but it took me far longer than I expected. But thinking back on it now, I am so glad that I went and I rehashed it, because I'm so much happier with the end product than what I would have been if I had gone ahead and released those first 2 versions. I just think what I have now is going to be so much more helpful to anyone that purchases it than the first original version ever would have been. Lauren Grimson asked, where do you buy your clothes and how do you go about the process of deciding to buy a new item? So this is such a big thing for me. I barely buy new clothes. Like it really does not happen very often. The last time I purchased new clothes was at the start of winter in Australia. So that was a while ago. It's now spring. I'm like crazy intentional about my wardrobe, and I just want it to be like a really curated collection of clothes that I wear all the time. Obviously I have times where I'm struck by a feeling of like, oh, I want to buy something new. So my birthday came up and I was like, yes, okay, I want to buy something new. Then I went out and I was like, I'm not buying anything new. So if I was gonna get really intentional about buying a new thing for my wardrobe, I would go onto my Pinterest board, which is all of my like fashion curated images that are like my style and my aesthetic. I'd pick the item that I wanted depending on like the season, because I'm assuming that it's like buying for a new season or something like that. And I'd make sure it's something that would go with the outfits that are in that Pinterest board. I'm trying to purchase more ethically, so I did post an Instagram quite a while ago asking people for ethical store recommendations. So I would go onto that post because I got so many recommendations and literally just look through every single website and find the item that worked with whatever I was looking for. I think in general, when it comes to purchasing intentionally, it's about making sure that the item that you buy is like of a high quality. And generally, if you're going to go through for ethical items, they will be of a high quality. They have to be of a high quality because they generally come with a higher price tag. And then I would also be very conscious that whatever I buy goes with my aesthetic, goes with my style, goes with my personal look. Shazia Mullah asked, how do you keep your anxiety levels under control? It's easy to get caught up in what others are doing and what you should be doing. How do you not get tangled up in that mindset? So for me, keeping my anxiety under control is like all about self-care. So if I am like eating well, moving my body regularly, as well as like pursuing things for me, whether that be like consuming documentaries or reading books or creating something, those 3 things are kind of like the things that I need to balance. If you want to get really intentional about maintaining those kind of things that you know help you manage your anxiety, it might be a good idea to check in every week, do a little weekly review of a Sunday to just be like, hey, like am I getting the things that I need to make sure that I'm not anxious of a week or that I'm at my best of a week or whatever it may be. Blue is the Moon asked, what is something that you'll never hesitate to spend time or money on? Probably like things that are going to buy me more time or more money in the future. So things that are going to make my life way more convenient and save me time, or things that are going to generate income that are in line with my values. Danica Kristen asked, do you think it's still important to get married in this day and age? My feelings about marriage are so mixed. From a logical perspective, I can recognize that it's pretty antiquated and it doesn't really make much sense, and it actually makes things more of a hassle for you. Like you need to go through the process of changing your name, doing all sorts of things in the background. And then of course there's the expenses for a wedding, and then the expectation that you're then going to have a child. Like there's just so much like crappy stuff about getting married, but at the same time, like I'm keen to get married. Not anytime soon, but eventually. So I don't really think that it's important to get married in this day and age. Like I really don't think there's much value in it, and by all means I think it's fine for a couple to live out their life and not get married, but at the same time I do eventually want to get married. I'm sorry if I missed your question, but if you do want to ask a question in the next Q&A, feel free to follow me on Instagram, and I will post a Q&A probably in a few months time. I appreciate you guys so much, and I will see you soon.